Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Danganronpa Survivors Guild chapter tier list. I did one for Live or Die, and overall I thought the game was okay, but nothing really stood out to me. But now, Survivors Guild. Survivors Guild, that stands out to me. This was actually a really good fan, genuinely one of my favorites of all time. Not without its flaws, but it's really freaking good. With that out of the way, let's get into it, starting with Chapter 1, B tier. This is a B tier chapter. I think it did a good enough job at establishing the characters, the story, and the tone. And I think Shoma worked really well as a first victim. He wasn't my favorite before his death. In fact, I do think he definitely wasn't that great. I think he's honestly, I say he's a great first victim because he is a great first victim. Okay, he is a pretty great first victim, actually. The point I was trying to get at is that I kind of wish, Chapter 1 focused so much on Rui and Alicia's dynamic, it just kind of throws aside his past friendships with Shoma and Rika for Alicia, which, was certainly a choice, and it does ultimately impact my opinions of Shoma and Rika, especially Rika. Because at least we got, the bridge scene with Rui and Shoma, even though it kind of felt very tonally dissonant from the rest of daily life. But it was, otherwise, it was really good. I did, as I alluded to in my Live or Die video, I did have some issues with this first chapter in terms of gameplay where I understood what happened, but the story didn't let me explain it, and ultimately I had to guess that it was Yumi because that line of dialogue of Mamoru told me did not stick in my head because I'm just like, oh, she's like the group mom. It makes sense Mamoru would tell her, but no one else. And I didn't even catch that Mamoru said at it in the trial. Oh yeah, I didn't tell anyone. I didn't connect the two dots. Well, I noticed he said it then, but I didn't remember that Yumi said, "Oh, he told me." It's like a one line of dialogue here, one line of dialogue there, and that's supposed to be how you guess the killer. Yeah, I ultimately just guessed it was Yumi because she seemed to be getting a lot of narrative setup, which is really what prevents this from being an A tier or chapter. Here is number one, the fact that I feel like Shoma was underused as Rui's friend, and number two, the fact that I ultimately had to guess that Yumi was the killer. Next up in D tier is, Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is in D tier, and I'll just straight up say this, it's almost entirely because of Daily Life. I found Daily Life to be fine. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. There were some parts that I liked, and there were some parts that I didn't. Again, I'm not that much of a fan of them just constantly shoving American media into this very clearly Japanese series. Uh, Based off the name of the third game, I'm probably not going to have this issue there because it doesn't seem like it's Japanese. Instead, seems more European from the name. But, we'll see. Anyways, so yeah. It also, in daily life, had the D&D scene, which, I just found to be very cringy. I know that probably some people really liked the scene. I didn't. And this isn't me, bashing D&D as a whole or anything. I actually do play D&D. It's just, I don't know. Oh, I just didn't like it. But yeah, I did actually really like Mako as a victim. I think that overall Mako was a really fun victim, and I did like her short character arc that she got. And I really do think that she defined herself away from the Mahirus and Tenkos of the world. Not bashing on Mahiru or Tenko, they're both top 15 characters for me, maybe even top 10. And I really enjoy both of them. But yeah, then the fault comes with Rika. So yeah, her and Rui's friendship is basically never explored in favor of focusing on, Mako and Rika kills her girlfriend again, and Rui and Alicia, and they're having relationship troubles now at the end of the chapter, and they start a relationship really rushed and fast, which is the point. I know it's the point, so I'm not judging it for that. And the relationship is honestly really well handled in future chapters. But yeah, come on. Yeah. Rui and Rika are friends. You wouldn't know this if you just played the game without looking at the prologue. If you look at the prologue, you'd almost never like there's like a single line here and there. There's like, oh yeah, we're friends, and they just mention it without actually showing anything really of their friendship. Yeah. Plus, I am also not a big fan of Deadly Life. The Hayato stuff was, in my opinion, way too fast paced, especially considering how important it is. But I guess they really build on it more as future chapters. So I'm fine with it. But how it's introduced, especially the connection like with Aki, like I like that bit, but like the rest of it was really rushed. And Rika as a killer is completely unnotable, unnoteworthy, unmemorable. Like, what could I tell you about Rika? She was supposedly friends with Rui. She and Mako started dating again. Also, yeah, Mako was the most obvious chapter 2 victim ever, by the way, which does also drag us down because I was just like, oh, it's Mako as the victim. Okay, cool. I had like no thoughts about it whatsoever. It was just, okay, she's gonna die. And then she did die, and it's like, what do you want me to do, you know? Anyways, chapter 3, A tier. But before that, chapter 2 did make me stop the fan again for a little bit. I stopped playing for a little bit because chapter 2 was just so ass. It's not like as bad as Live or Die chapter 3 is for me, but yeah, chapter 3 is A tier. I mean, what is there to say about chapter 3? That isn't, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, seriously? Best fucking chapter ever. Well, not best chapter ever, I mean, but like, it's such a fun chapter. The daily life is really nice. I do actually really enjoy it, and the mini investigation, great addition to daily life. I've always wanted to see a fan again do like a mini investigation during a daily life, and this gave me exactly that. With of course Aki's attack on Hayato, which obviously after chapter 6 carries a lot more weight. I mean, it's even after chapter 2, it already carried a lot of weight. And the deadly life with Paul Bolslaw's plan was genuinely amazing. Probably one of my favorite murder plans in any Fangan ever. Why it's only an A tier and not an S tier is because, like, I don't know. It's hard for me to describe it. It just didn't hit in the way that an S tier chapter does. It's genuinely a great chapter, and like this is a like anything any chapter in A tier is like if this is your Fangan's best chapter, you should not be disappointed. It's very stingy conditions to reach S tier. Which the condition to reach S tier is to like get a genuine emotional reaction from me. By the way, like if you can get a genuine emotional reaction from me, then because that's pretty hard, honestly, to do. Because like I genuinely do some. I mean, okay, so because I do generally kind of struggle with expressing emotions towards media I consume. And for anyone who's saying, "Oh, didn't you say you cried during Live or Die chapter 4?" That chapter had obvious issues that prevented it from being an S tier. Okay, it's not like, "Oh, I cry, it's automatic S tier." No, if something has obvious issues, it's not going in S tier. But yeah, overall, well, this one it was great, but it just like it didn't make me cry because I noticed the one BDA thing right away, so I didn't even for a second think that Alicia was dead. Sumarai also feels a bit underwhelming as a victim. She's like fine, don't be wrong, but like by chapter 3, I expect a bit more or from a victim than smart person who is also kind of also a group mom. Like also we literally have that with Yumi. So like Sumarai doesn't stand out that much. It's not that Sumarai keeps it from S tier. I just think that like it's one of the reasons why it's not an S tier is Sumarai being just kind of an okay victim, not a bad victim by any means, but just kinda okay. Next up, chapter 4, we have S tier. This one got quite a bit of emotion out of me. I cried a bit. I got angry. Like, there's a wide range of emotions this chapter brought out of me. Plus, it's just got such a beautifully amazing story with the 3 characters in it. It like I love Kazuki, love Kokoro, love Mamoru. Like all three of them are genuinely amazing chapter 4 deaths, especially Kazuki. God, Kazuki probably leaves his Fangan as my favorite character. When I went into it absolutely despising him and hoping he was chapter 1 victim, well, I was also hoping he was chapter 1 victim because, some details about his crime were revealed in chapter 1. And then I was like, oh, it feels like a kind of a way is to kill someone without revealing secrets of their crime. Then I dropped his complaint when I learned that the secrets were revealed in their free time events, and a couple were revealed in the main story only if they mattered. So it's not like we just don't explore the idea at all of these people, being murderers. But yeah, chapter 4 is genuinely an amazing story, and it's an amazing tragedy. Taking out an entire trio in one chapter is a massive risk, but this time it paid off. Chapter 5. I mean, so I've been on record in the past in some comments that I hate the idea of a protag switch. But there is one exception to it, which is if you can justify why the protag was the protag in the first place. In Rui's case, it can absolutely be justified, but that's getting to chapter 6, so I'll save it for later. Anyways, even outside of that, I genuinely cried during Rui's final moments. I genuinely loved this chapter. And yeah, oh, I'm tearing up a bit even thinking about it. Oh god, this chapter was so good. And Takeshi's role in this chapter was also pretty solid. Obviously, heavily recontextualized by chapter 6. But yeah, I don't even know how to. I still haven't. I don't think I've even fully processed all the stuff that. Yeah, everything with Takeshi was completely fake. Huh. I still haven't even fully processed that. Like, this is just such a freaking. That was such a crazy reveal, but it works so well. Anyways, let's get into chapter 6. Back to chapter 5. So many of the Rui and Alicia scenes are amazing. Like every conversation in this chapter. Also, Hayato during the class trial. Hayato during the class trial. That was peak. Overtime was peak. This was just such a good chapter. Like, unironically, such a good chapter. And then chapter 6 comes along and tops it. Okay, this might sound a little crazy, but this is genuinely such a fun chapter. Tying together all these tiny little character details about Takeshi to reveal that he's the mastermind, but it's not actually Takeshi, it's Nobuhiko, I think his name was. Yeah, Nobuhiko. Oh. And the real Takeshi was in the game, but in a bunker, and he was still the chapter 5 victim. It was amazing. Like, genuinely amazing. I cannot express just how good it is because it's just that good. Also, because I played it again, like I finished playing it like half an hour ago. Uh, uh, so yeah, I still haven't fully processed this freaking chapter, but my God, is it really good? Maybe tomorrow I'll change my mind and put it below chapter 5. But right now, this is my favorite chapter. Also, like I did before, I want to talk about the survivors briefly. We'll talk about chapter 6. Alicia is genuinely an amazing survivor. She definitely has earned her role of protag. Atsuo, he's probably my favorite of the survivors, honestly. Like, legitimately. Like, Atsuo is such a fun survivor. He's Rui's bro, and even after Rui's gone, it was genuinely amazing. He's very much shown as the emotional heart of chapter 6 alongside Nobuhiko, and that was definitely the right call. Gumi, I mean, obviously she had to survive for plot reasons, but personally, I could take her or leave her. Like, I understand. Unlike Fu from Live or Die, I know Igumi had to survive, but I don't know. She definitely doesn't land for me. She has some good moments throughout, of course. Like, yeah, she is a good character, but there's definitely, it's definitely not great. She's definitely not a great survivor, I'll say. She's a decent survivor, but nothing too great. I mean, she's pretty unique. I'll give her that. And then the chapter 6 deaths, Hayato and Aki. I mean, what is there not to talk about with them? Like, Hayato especially is so freaking good. Because, like, I can understand his worldview of it. Doesn't mean I agree with it. I'm just saying I can understand it a bit. Having impulses that try to control you, like, as someone who has ADHD, yeah, I can understand why Hayato is such a good character. I can understand his worldview. His impulses, I understand that. He's such a good character, honestly. Aki, the one person who makes Chapter 6 you can't control. I was so certain you were the hunter throughout so much of this game until Rui said, you're not the hunter. And then I thought I was Shoma. Oh, I thought I was like so smart. Like, oh, Atsuo's number 3. Well, if you're going male, female, male, and Atsuo's, the second male, that makes him number 3 there. And then I repeated that pattern. And I reached Shoma at number 13, and I was already like starting to suspect Shoma could be the hunter. Ooh, and maybe he faked his death because, like, ooh, interesting. Yeah, but no. No, it wasn't. The blood at the restraining stuff should have given that away to me. I was kind of dumb. And also, so of course, person we knew for most of the game is Takeshi Nobuhiko. Honestly, I genuinely cried during his backstory. Like, man, you needed therapy. You couldn't afford it, but man, you needed therapy. Also, just gonna say this, Monokirfi is not an interesting character in the slightest. It is basically just Monokuma, but not Monokuma because they wanted to make certain, this game, it's not Danganronpa. Though it followed a lot of the tropes, just moved double murder back a chapter, buff guy still dies chapter 4. It's the tropes kind of, they were still useful. Like, yeah, Monokirfi, honestly, is a flop of a mascot. Like, his death is unceremonious for a reason. Like, yeah, Monokirfi's death is just so unceremonious because Monokirfi doesn't matter as a character. Like, legitimately, you can replace Monokirfi with a cardboard cutout, and I think you get pretty much the same story. Like, yeah. I don't know what to say. Monokirfi is not an interesting character. But, yeah, that doesn't exactly harm my enjoyment in the game. So overall, I really like this main cast, aside from Rika and Monokirfi, but whatever. Overall, I really like this fangan. This is legitimately one of my favorite fangans of all time now. And I'm really looking forward to the third game. I don't know how to pronounce that yet. I'll have to look it up later. Anyways, that is my Survivor's Guild chapter ranking. I'll see you all for the next fangan.